Hello everybody, welcome back to TTL. My name is Kieran McGinley and round 14 is at Singapore. Without further ado then, let's go through the drivers' standings. So, at the top of the table, we have DarrenSinclair on 191, Spike is in second on 157, Blizzard in third on 150, Traw is in fourth on 131, Lambo in fifth on 96, The Gort is in sixth, he's on 81, Maze and Siege are tied for seventh, they're both on 73, Light E is ninth on 64, Poe in 10th on 59. In 11th it's Raikkonen, he's on 53, Humbug 12th on 34, Useless 13th on 28, Sao Paulo 14th on 25, Steph is 15th on 20 points, Crazy Legs is 16th place on 15 points, Z3, Weed Nation and Geordie all tied on 17th place, they're all on 11 points, with Shunts in 20th on 8 points. Pezos in 21st, he's on 7 points. Alan K and Squeezy are tied for 22nd, both on 4 points. Plaster 24th on 3 points, and Blue Nose is 25th with 1 point. On to the constructors then. Toro Rosso lead the way on 195, Renault are in second on 180, Williams in third on 175, Mercedes are in fourth on 165, Force India are fifth on 156, Sauber in sixth on 142, McLaren in seventh on 99 points, Ferrari in 8th on 69 points, Red Bull in 9th with 66 points, and Haas only a point behind in 10th on 65 points. Well, without further ado then, let's head on to the hot lap.
So here we are then, heading towards the start finish line then, across the line we go, heading straight into the lap then, heading towards turns 1, 2 and 3. Easy to misplace the curb there on the left hand side, easy on your way in, easy on the traction as well on the exit of turn 3. Through this slight kink of 4 then as we head down towards the right hander of turn 5, make sure you don't take too much of the left hand side curb there, otherwise it will invalidate your lap time. Into the DRS zone now as we head towards the slight kink of 6, on our way towards turn 7, keep the steering as smooth as possible through turn 6 to optimise your speed. Now heading into turn 7, avoid the curb on the right hand side, you'll lose speed through there. Coming into turn 8, again watch the raised curb on the inside there, it can throw off your exit speed. Heading into turn 9 now, watch the wall on the right hand side, get as close as you can to it, but obviously don't hit it, you'll lose time that way. Heading towards now the old Singapore sling into turn 10 now, as we head towards turn 11 and then towards Anderson Bridge, watch the curb on turn 11, and as you head towards Anderson Bridge, the track narrows a lot here as you head into turn 13, get a good line through here, and a good exit out of 13 is crucial if you want to set a good lap time. Heading now up towards turn 14, drift to the left hand side of the track into the braking zone, and again watch the curb there as the curb on the outside there on the left hand side will promote oversteer. Heading now into turn 16 and then through 17, watch the curbs there, they can invalidate your lap time. Now we head into turns 18 and 19, heading underneath the crowd here as we head through into turn 19 now. And now through to turns 20 and 21, again watch the exit here, it's crucial to get a good exit, otherwise you'll lose all that time. Into 22 and 23, double apex here, that's a lap of Singapore.
Well, we're under the lights here at Singapore, and it's a track that always is one of the most physically demanding tracks on the calendar. And the reason why, well, 23 corners in these 2017 cars needs the greatest amount of concentration you could possibly get. Now, in normal Formula 1, the races are limited to 2 hours. Take that into 50%, it's limited to an hour. Now, unfortunately, the game doesn't have that limit, so we're going to see now how long this race is going to take. Now, in 2016 and 2015, the race came very close to actually finishing in that 2-hour bracket, or near to it anyway. So not only do you need the concentration to lap the circuit constantly for around about an hour, it can be a very interesting scenario if you decide to end it up into the barriers through a lack of concentration or just fatigue as you're trying to set consistent lap times after lap times. But the cars are a lot quicker now. We're looking at around about a 45 to 50 minute race, so we should be well within the boundaries, and with no safety cars in this series, we should be able to stay within the 1 hour bracket. We see, I think that was a McLaren going off in the background just there. That might have been Poe, but I'm not too sure actually. But anyway, so Squeezy is the first person out on track, and as we get a lovely camera angle here through the Esplanade Drive, I think that is. I'm not entirely sure. Or Anderson Bridge, that was, sorry. Now we're on Esplanade Drive. The thing about this track is that none of the corners are named. The straights are named, but not the corners. Always threw me off, that one. Anyway, as Squeezy here heads through 16 and 17, making his way towards turns 18 and 19, heading underneath the stadium there. Heading towards turns 20 and 21. A lot of 90-degree corners here that require a lot of concentration. Now heading towards turn 22 and 23, this double apex here, as you really need the grip all you can to get through that corner. But here we go with Squeezy then, in driving for the Force India this week. Changing drivers, that's the life of changing teams, I should say. That is the life of a reserve, and Geordie is out of the session. What's happened there? And he's lost it into the wall there. Now that is going underneath the stadium. That's at turn 18. So Geordie must have locked up going into turn 18 there, and Geordie's qualifying session is over. Right on board again with Squeezy then, as he rounds the old Singapore sling, as heading now up towards, as Squeezy looks like here he's abandoned that lap. So we'll ride on board with the next person. Sorry, that wasn't the Singapore sling, or at least the old one anyway. But as we head into the hairpin now, turn 13, get this exit absolutely spot on. Oh, the where you get the white line there, just to the right of that is all sort of dirty tracks. So well, it's very easy to just put a wheel on there and lose the back end. Oh, as Poe hits the wall there and hits it again, and that is Poe now with his lap time abandoned. Right on board with Blizzard as he rounds turn 13. Got to find the next car who's closest to the line now. Light E making his way up towards turn 13. As we see DarrenSinclair, the current championship leader. Yellow flags once again in sector 3. DarrenSinclair rounding the final few corners then. He'll be the first one to set a lap time. There's the benchmark, 1:37.7 from DarrenSinclair there. Blizzard, a championship rival. He needs to try and at least match it. Lambo sets a 1:38.4. So Blizzard here rounding turns 22 and 23 towards the start finish line. It's a 1:38.1 from Blizzard there. Puts him into P2. C3 then heading towards the back end of the circuit then, towards 18 and 19. As we have Alan Kay with a 1:41.7, Steph 1:43.5, Light E there 1:46.9, but it looks like he's going to have another go. Mays up into fourth there, 1:38.7. His teammate the Gort 1:38.9. Draw here, got his first race win of the season last time out. What can he do here as he heads towards the line to start another lap, or start a flying lap at least? What can he do? Can he build on his momentum from the last time out? There's Weed Nation coming through. I believe that is the old Singapore sling. Yes, it is. As he returns to the racing seat this week, having been off and away. He returns with Williams, hoping to get some strong points on the board. Siege here will be hoping to put Monza behind him. It wasn't a great day for him, but he did get driver of the day from that race and a respectable points finish from Italy. He'll be hoping here for a much calmer and maybe a bit more of luck in his race. Squeezy though setting a 1:39.6, Raikkonen setting a 1:39.6. Pretty much the same time, only a couple of hundredths in it. Plaster 1:41.9, and Blizzard there goes fastest, 1:37.5. He's taken 6/10 out of his original time and goes 2/10 ahead of DarrenSinclair. So then Siege rounding turn 21. heading towards the double apex here of the last 2 corners. And what can Siege do then? Heading towards the line, 1:38.1. But that lap was invalidated. Draw here then, in pretty much the same place. Turn 21. Heading out and towards the double left-hander. And what could Draw do now? Heading towards the line. It's a 1:39.1. But the lap doesn't count. Spike then, heading out onto the circuit. And he'll be hoping to keep his championship hopes alive. Currently in 2nd place in the championship. It is in the 2nd half of the season now, but this is when form is make or break. And Spike will be hoping then to get a good result today and try and close in on DarrenSinclair once again. And Z3 heading out of the pits, as he'll be hoping as well to get a good points finish this time around. Steph, the only driver who's currently made it on the super soft tyres, currently lies in 11th place, but as you can see it just flipped over to ultra soft, which means he will be hoping to get out there and post a faster time. Siege here then looks like he's run out of fuel, low fuel mode then all the way back to the pits then, as we're riding on board now with Spike as he heads towards the series of 90-degree corners through the old Singapore sling. And well, back in the day when that was actually a chicane of left, right, left at quarter. Sorry, right, left, right, was it? No, left, right, left. It was definitely left, right, left. Caught a couple of drivers out. In fact, people would bunny hop over the curbs and into the wall again. So it wasn't ideal. Draw then comes into the pits. Poe is currently out on circuit as well, as we have yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. Now just sector 3. And I wonder if someone's lost it coming in here to turn 18. I don't think so, so we'll carry on then. Spike rounding the final few corners. Plaster has retired from the session as he goes into the menu. That's him done for today. Spike though, whatever happened, he might have lost it coming out of turn 21, but he's abandoned his lap and he hasn't got long then to come in, change some tyres and get back out there for a lap time. Poe meanwhile coming into sector 3 now, but as you can see he's let off the throttle as he looks to try and set another lap time later on. Weed Nation on a sort of out lap, as how can I tell? Well, his lap time's into the 2 minutes right now, so Weed will be hoping then to try and get another lap under his belt next time around. Z3 then heading through sector 1 into the DRS zone, and we've got to watch out now for DarrenSinclair, who I believe is currently out there on a flying lap as he rounds into I believe that's turn 9. It is, yes, coming up towards the old Singapore sling of turn 10 and into turn 11 and then through 12 onto Anderson Bridge now, as we now head towards the hairpin of turn 13. Get the traction absolutely spot on out of there and you've got a good lap on your hands. Now, if this is the case, if Spike wants to get back out there, he needs to leave the pit lane now. But it doesn't look like there's any movement going on from the Renault garage. There's the movement there from the Renault garage, but is it too late for Spike? He might not set a lap time here, as we've got some rain falling as well. Spike here with 1:30. I don't think he's going to make it round. No, he's not. Well, DarrenSinclair here has got to try and beat Blizzard with this lap, because the track's only going to get more and more damp as he flies through turns. Oh, he's lost it. Into the wall goes DarrenSinclair. He did improve on his time, but no, he could only go 2nd place. With DarrenSinclair out of the session then, we've got drivers then who are being caught out by these conditions. Squeezy is out of the session. He's retired. Lambo heading towards the line then. Can't go quicker, and already this rain is having a huge effect on this session. Z3 then, Traw retiring from the session. A whole host of drivers retiring from this session as the rain gets too much for them. Poe parks it up. He's out of the session. Weed Nation then trying to round the final few corners to at least put a lap on the board then. Having to brake here hard coming into 21 and 22. He goes P10 though on those ultra soft tyres. So then Blizzard has parked up. I don't think he's retired just yet. Mays has retired from the session. For Gort, though, I believe we're going to see a whole host of drivers not bother to set another lap time as Weed Nation retires from the session as he's completed his lap then. Well, with only a couple of seconds of qualifying to go, I think we can safely assume the leaders here as the checkered flag comes out. We're riding on board with the Gort then. This is rounding into turn 18 now. And you can see here how quickly this track has just dampened and how quickly these lap times have fallen off. But as the Gort now heads towards the line and heads into the pit lane, then we'll have the full results of qualifying after this edit. So, Blizzard is on pole, DarrenSinclair in second place, Lambo third, Mays is in fourth, the Gort in fifth, Z3 is sixth, Raikkonen seventh, Lighty eighth, Squeezy in ninth, Weed Nation 10th, Plaster is in 11th, Alan K 12th, Steph is in 13th, Geordie 14th, Troy in P15, Poe 16th, Siege 17th, Spike 18th. So it's going to be a huge charge from those guys at the back there. We'll have the race then after this edit. The first ever race at Singapore in 2008 will always be stained with controversy when Nelson Piquet Jr. hit the wall, brought out a safety car and allowed Fernando Alonso to come home with the victory. Since then though, the Singapore Grand Prix has hosted a huge amount of Grand Prix since 2008 that have all been very memorable indeed. Not only does it challenge the drivers in its endurance, but if you're there in person with the heat and humidity, it is always a physical affair when you come to Singapore though. With these drivers though, they're hoping to get themselves underway and have a good result today. It's a long race and it's coming up with this formation lap first. So away we go then for the formation lap. And as you can see, every single driver leaving the grid spot now. Well, a whole host of strategies going on for the race then. Obviously the top 10 starting on their ultra soft tyres, as we'll see further down the field. Plaster then starting on some super soft tyres, and already he's been sent back to the grid. Alan Kay also on the super soft tyres. Steph is opting for the soft tyres. Geordie for some super softs. Troy on the soft tyres. Poe is on ultra softs, hoping to try and charge his way through the field. Siege in 17th. Trying to make his way through on super soft tyres. Spike, starting from the back of the grid, is hoping he'll get a super start and go as long as he can into the race. Of course, Blizzard here will be hoping for a good result from pole position as he looks to try and close the gap on DarrenSinclair. He's on 150 points, 41 points behind DarrenSinclair, but that's not over yet, not by a long shot. Speaking of the championship leader, he'll be hoping to try and extend his lead wherever he can. Can he come away with a race victory, or will he struggle like last time out in Monza? Our driver review today, though, is with Poe. Now, he made his debut at round 5 in Spain, and his best run of his... Oh, hello. Okay. Well, that was odd. Okay. Yeah, well, he got his debut in round 5 and got his best result of the season at round 6, with second place coming at Monaco. He's had the best run of round 8 and round 9, where he came 5th and 3rd. So he'll be hoping today, with 7 races under his belt, 2 podiums and 4 top 5 finishes, he'll be hoping today he can add to that. And with Blizzard heading around here, he's backing that back up because he doesn't want to wait on the line for longer than he needs to. I don't think DarrenSinclair was quite willing to do that, as he's already back onto the grid here, as is a Force India. But we will have the race after this edit. So here we are then. We're lining up on the grid. 5 red lights. And round 14 is underway. What are the starts like? Blizzard goes off to cut off DarrenSinclair from the very start. May's not getting a great start there as we head into turn 1. Now coming into turn 2 now. DarrenSinclair's got to hold his line there. And Blizzard coming away clean in the lead then. Let's have a look further back then as we head on board with Blizzard here. Light E getting squeezed by Squeezy there as just about kept the car under control then. Caused some heart-wrenching moments there, but everybody looks like they got through with their front wings intact, which is also good to see. Geordie then attacking Weed Nation from the very start as we had Z3 there run wide as he drops now back through the field. But Geordie then up into 9th place as we see Traw here on those soft tyres trying to go around the outside of Plaster. And can he make that move stick heading towards the Singapore Sling? Yes, he can, as he moves up now into 13th place. As we've got the Haas there of Siege running wide. As does that open up an opportunity for Plaster here? No, it doesn't. We've got Poe into the wall there. Now, has he got front wing damage? It doesn't look like it. Looks like he's got away with it, but he's currently still in 17th place as he looks to try and get his way up the field. Meanwhile then, Blizzard leads the way. DarrenSinclair in 2nd, Lambo in 3rd, with Mays in 4th and the Gort in 5th, right behind him. Siege then, hoping to try and find a way past Traw, as Siege on some super soft tyres, Traw on softs, as can Siege try and find that way past, as we head now towards turns 22 and 23. Spike though behind Plaster right now as he looks to try and keep his championship alive. As will he try and move down into turn 1? I highly doubt it, but he is right on Plaster's gearbox here, and he's got Poe behind him as well on some ultra softs as well, so he's got to watch out for that. Poe will be ready to attack if either of them make a mistake. Heading now onto the DRS straight, you can see there Plaster doesn't get the great exit in the world, and you can see Plaster fall back. Now, does Plaster have front wing damage, or did he just not give them a battle there? Either way, Spike and Poe are both through as Poe runs onto the dirty part of the track there. Let's have a look at the biggest winners and losers then, as we have this lovely little graphic here. Geordie's the biggest winner. He's up 5 places from his starting position. Z3 down 6 places, as is Plaster and Alan Kay. Leading at the moment though, it is Blizzard from DarrenSinclair, and they're starting to open up a gap between Lambo now. And with Spike down in 15th place at the moment, they're looking to just try and run away with it for now as Blizzard takes out the camera there. But Blizzard, tapping the wall there. He's got to avoid doing that too often. The Gort here on the back of Mays, and Mays is sort of leading this battle for 4th then, which is involving the Gort, Raikkonen, Squeezy, Light, Geordie, Weed Nation, all trying to be involved in this battle for 4th place, as I believe that's 7 cars in this battle now, DRS enabled, and I wonder if we're going to have a spot of rain to liven up the race. Not that it needs any more livening up, of course. Traw there, moving up into 12th place as Z3 ran wide, coming out of the last corner and loses out to both Traw and Siege. We've got Plaster into the pits now. I assume this is to replace a front wing. I did see when he was trying to battle Spike and Poe that he just let them through, and I wondered if it was damage, and it did turn out to be. So Plaster then leaving the pit lane on ultra soft tyres. We'll see how that strategy turns out. Squeezy though meanwhile trying to put some pressure on Raikkonen here as we're leading middle of the battle for 4th then, as Mays and the Gort start to try and run away from these two now, which is good news. If Raikkonen and Squeezy start fighting, it means the Mercedes guys can start to try and pull away. Geordie though chasing down Light E in the Ferrari, as Geordie then slightly locks up coming into turn 13, but trying to get a good exit as we come out here. As that is Squeezy trying to have a look at the inside of Raikkonen here, but it looks like for now Raikkonen is holding on to 6th place. Squeezy though looks like he wants to try and make a move, and well, we've seen last time Squeezy just seems to be maturing a lot in the last couple of races. Only had his debut a couple of races ago, and he's again in the points. I won't try and commentate to curse him too much, but he's looking good at the moment. Meanwhile though, Light E under some pressure from Geordie here, as Geordie there wanted to go down the inside, but didn't find a way through. Lap 4 of this Grand Prix then, as we're having a look at some interesting battles starting to develop. Spike then humped down the inside of Z3, and Spike then moves up into 14th place. Steph here in 11th place, trying to defend from the Sauber of Troy here, as we head through down the DRS straight. Troy here looks to be catching him with some rate of knots here, as we head through. I wonder here, is this soft tyre versus soft tyre? This could be crucial for both drivers. We're seeing a battle here for Raikkonen here, as he looks to be closing in on the Gort ever so slightly here, as the Gort might have made a mistake, because he's now 2.3 behind Mays, and he definitely wasn't that far behind before. As a little bit of a lag spike there, wasn't too much of a problem, as Raikkonen here trying to chase down the Gort for 5th place. Siege then on the back of Troy. He's watching this battle between Troy and Steph with a little bit of amusement here. He knows that if either of them make a mistake here, he could try and get some moves done. Poe picking up a 3-second time penalty for his troubles, as we head underneath the stadium here into turns 20 and 21. Important to keep your good traction held there. So we head through 22 and 23. DRS open, but you can see there Geordie ran wide, and it's cost him time. You can see how much time as well. Poe then, Z3 is into the pits. Now, is this a change front wing? They have a front wing ready, look, as they look to change this. So on go some soft tyres, will that be? Well, there's soft tyres ready, super softs off, but ultra softs on the car. This game never fails to amaze me sometimes, but that looks like Z3 ultra soft on the car, but on the telemetry it says super soft. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe the tyres will flick colour. I'm not too sure, but anyway, Z3 apparently is on the super soft tyres, so we'll go with the telemetry. Geordie here, still trying to put some pressure on Light E, trying to take a wider line into turn 13 to try and help his apex, and it looks like it might work this time. Right in the slipstream of Light E, will he try and move down into turn 14? Looks for the inside line, but doesn't try and take it. It's too risky then. But Light E and Geordie, they both run wide, heading out of turn 15, I believe that is. As we head through 16 and 17 towards turn 18, and the Ferris wheel you can see there lighting up the sky into 18 and 19 now under the stadium through 20 and 21. But it looks like Geordie is staying behind for another lap. We round through into the final 2 corners, and Light E losing a little bit on the exit there, as now Weed Nation has to be careful here of Steph, who looks like he's going to try and have a go. Saw a bit of debris come off there. Was that off the back, the front of Steph's car there? I wonder if he's got a little bit of front wing damage. I did see him maybe run into the back of Weed just slightly there, but I'm not sure if it's critical damage or not. But meanwhile then, we've got DarrenSinclair trying to chase down Blizzard for the lead of the race. Singapore is always a testing venue for the drivers in terms of fatigue, in terms of actually getting to the end of the race. It's not quite Monaco levels of concentration, but it sure can wear you out if you're not prepared for it. Further down the field, we've got Light E and Geordie still battling. Further back, we've still got Troy and Steph battling here. Look how close these two are. Now, both of those guys are on the soft tyres, so they're going to run for a tremendously long time. And as you can see here, Troy trying to take a wider line, get a better exit than Steph, coming out of turn 13. We head towards 14 now, and Traw still staying behind Steph here. Through turn 14, got to get the exit right through there. Now through 15. And yellow flags in sector 3. That's Lambo out of the race. And Lambo is out. Now, where is that? Oh, he spun the car round. That is coming into turn 20, I believe. So Lambo then out of the Singapore Grand Prix. DarrenSinclair then. That opens up the gap to third place just a little bit. As we'll see now this battle taking place. Now, who's going to be the first to blink? Who's going to be the first into the pits? Can DarrenSinclair try and make a move on Blizzard? He thought about it, but backed out of the move. Maybe he's not ready to try a move here on Blizzard. But as we can see, DarrenSinclair mighty close. Will we see a move in the near future? Well, we might see a move here, though. Traw on Steph. Here we go, then, side by side. Heading towards the end of the DRS zone. Steph trying to hold the inside line. Traw trying to go around the outside. And they're side by side as they head into the right-hander here. And, well, the Renault here of Spike is looking like he wants to have a go as well. Trying to go around the outside now as we head towards the Singapore Sling. Look at the traction Traw got as we head towards the Singapore Sling. And that looks like a move completed by Traw. Steph trying to hold on to the position, but he can't quite do it. As Traw then moves up into 9th place. And is that Steph trying to let Spike through? I believe it is. So Spike then moves up into 10th place. As maybe a little bit of team orders come into effect there. Spike lets Spike lets Spike through. Yeah, that works as commentary. Steph lets Spike through into P10. And Spike can now try and start to chase down Traw up ahead. Meanwhile, at the front of the pack, Blizzard still leads the way from DarrenSinclair. DarrenSinclair just willing to not take too many risks. Stay behind Blizzard for now and see if he makes any mistakes of his own. That sort of a Prost-esque style of driving there. Knows he doesn't have to win every single race, just has to be in good points every single race. Steph then into the pits he comes. Now it's very early for soft tyre stint. Is this a front wing change? Maybe on the right hand side there. Looks like there's a bit of damage. And do the Renault boys have a front wing ready? They do. So on go, a set of super softs will that be? Well, whatever it is. They're not going to show the right tyre, but yes, it is going to be super softs on that car. Geordie, though, has found a way past Squeezy, and Squeezy not getting great traction out there. Maybe his ultra softs are starting to wear as he clips the wall there, coming out of turn 9, heading towards the Singapore Sling. Well, Geordie up into 6th there, Squeezy in 7th. Is he struggling for tyre wear now? Weed Nation could be the next car. He's got to try and hold on to that position then. Well, two teammates running together, and I've said it before, I've said it pretty much all season. It's not often you don't see these two separated from each other. They're normally on the same bit of track, but the Gort here happy to just keep his gap to Mays, his teammate, as we head deeper and deeper into this Grand Prix. Weed Nation though trying to chase down Squeezy into turn 18. And we'll see now, what can he do? Well, I said he was happy to keep the gap. Mays is into the pits for a stop here. Now, will he go onto a set of Ultra Softs or Super Softs? Looks like Super Softs went on. But no, they were Ultra Softs in the end. So a busy pit lane at the moment as Mays, Raikkonen and Squeezy all pit together. So then Mays got the advantage of being the lead car. And where will he rejoin? Looks like he's going to rejoin just to the left of your picture there. That's Alan Kay. And does Mays rejoin ahead of Alan Kay? Yes, he does. Just about rejoins in front of Alan Kay. So Mays then, first of the strategic stops, he rejoins in 9th place. Now that's a telling sign for Blizzard and DarrenSinclair up ahead. Obviously they'll have a clearer track than Mays. Well, I mean, it can't get much clearer than that actually, can it? But they'll definitely rejoin in front of Alan Kay if they were to pit now. Siege though on the back of Light E, and Siege on those ultra soft tyres, looking to try and find a way past. Heading now towards turn 10, the Singapore Sling. And has he got to try and move into 11? Onto Anderson Bridge they go. And oh, that's the Ferrari clipping the wall there. And has he got away with the damage? Well, Siege is going to try and take a wider line here. You can see Light E didn't have the traction coming out there. And Siege are going to be side by side with Light E as we head into the next corner. But Siege has got the move done, has he? A little bit of a loss of traction on the exit there, but he's got the move done and moves up now into 12th place. The Gort then, the second Mercedes coming into the pits. And on go a set of super soft tyres is that. No, it's soft tyres. So the Gorts maybe wanted to try and go to the end of the race. It's an interesting strategy here. Then where is Mace? He's heading around the final two corners now. As we'll see the Gort here coming towards the end of the pit lane. There's Mace going through. So the Gort, can he rejoin in front of Raikkonen though? Well, there goes Raikkonen for position. And that's it. The Gort then rejoins behind Raikkonen. But he might not have to stop again. Watch out for this battle then between Siege and Alan Kay. Heading towards turn 4. And Alan Kay lets him go there. Opens the DRS then. As we now head towards, through the slight kink of 6, towards turn 7 now. But Alan Kay here, not really battling too hard. But he's holding on to 11th place for now though. Siege heading out of turn 9, heading towards the Gort up ahead on some soft tyres versus ultra softs. There's only one way that battle can really go, isn't there? Alan Kay losing it slightly there, now under pressure from Light E as we head towards turn 13. Light E tried to go up the inside there and hit the back of Alan Kay, clipped the inside wall. That's a bit of front wing from Light E gone. And well, Light E here. Now, how will that affect his performance as before he starts to slightly give up there, as he'll use all the track there to try and get an advantage here. But you can see here, Blizzard and DarrenSinclair have both pitted together, and they're on the soft tyre. They're also wanting to go to the end. They're taking a leaf out of the Gort's book here. So Blizzard then, where is he going to rejoin out on track? He rejoins in 3rd place. DarrenSinclair then will rejoin side by side with Spike. And he rejoins behind Spike. Now, what will Spike do here? He's on an old set of soft tyres. DarrenSinclair on a new set. And, well, Blizzard here can try and run away. DarrenSinclair then on the back of Spike as we head through the slight kick of 6. Now down towards turn 7. DarrenSinclair down the inside of Spike. Spike really didn't battle too hard there. But, well, he did manage to hold up DarrenSinclair for all it's worth. That could prove crucial towards the end of the season. You never know. But leading the race at the moment is Geordie on those super soft tyres. Traw is in 2nd, only 2.6 back. But Blizzard's only 3.1 behind the both of them there. We're seeing a mighty fine battle here. Alan Kay is being drawn in by Weed Nation, Squeezy and Light. Light E possibly dropping back. Maybe with some front wing damage. We did see that earlier on. Through the Singapore Sling they go into turn 11. Making their way onto Anderson Bridge. Can Weed Nation find a move around the outside of Alan Kay? Trying to get that better line coming out of the hairpin. And he has got much better traction. Heading towards turn 14. And has he got ahead? Yes, he has. Alan Kay trying to go up the inside though to try and defend his place. But he hasn't got the grip, and Weed Nation, now Squeezy might have an opportunity to get through here. Yes, he does. As we run over the camera there, Weed Nation. Light E now having a move up the inside of Alan Kay as well. And Alan Kay is dropping positions very, very quickly here. He's now under threat from Z3, right behind him. It's a disaster for Alan Kay. Does he decide to pit in now? There's a bit of front wing debris there. I'm not sure if that's any of the front runners or these runners here. As Light E heads into the pits, as that looks like a bit of a lost front wing there. But we'll see here Z3 challenging Alan Kay. Will he have a move into turn 1 on the ultra soft tyres here? As Alan Kay defending his position for now into turn 3. and into turn number 4. Alan Kane manages to hold on for 13th place for now, but he is under threat from Z3. Meanwhile, Blizzard chasing down Traw. This is for 2nd place, heading into the hairpin of turn 13. DarrenSinclair is 4.1 seconds behind Blizzard at the moment. We'll see if that changes at all. Blizzard here wants to try and get past Traw as quickly as possible, and to try and put a car between himself and DarrenSinclair. That will always help in the long run. Meanwhile, Z3 and Alan Kay getting very close for comfort here. Z3 wants a way past. Can he find it? Again, trying to get a better line through turn 13. Slightly clips the wall there. All that work of trying to find a different line may have all come undone. But Z3 here going to try and move down the inside of Alan Kay. Has he got the moves done into turn 14? No, he hasn't. They're going to head through turn 15 side by side. But Z3 decides to tuck in and get away from the move into turn 15. Through 16 now, I believe, or 17. Always hard to keep track of the corner numbers here. I can't even speak. It's great. That's how much action's going on right now. But Z3 here still trying to find a way past, but he's got to be careful of Steph right behind him. Steph on a charge here. As running through now, Geordie comes into the pits. Does he? Oh, that's Steph. Steph has lost it. And somehow, heart-in-mouth moment for Steph here. He recovers the car. Z3 runs wide. Going into turn 2, now into turn 3, and Z3 now is battling with Steph as they're looking towards turn number 5, I think that is. Yes, it is, turn 5. Through into the DRS zone, and Steph here is going to get frustrated behind Z3 as we head towards turn 6. Well, Blizzard here is right behind Geordie. I must have missed a move on Traw. I'm very sorry about that. But Blizzard on the back of Geordie here is managing to help Traw draw himself in to this battle. As well as that, we've got yellow flags here. Is that... it's not Raikkonen. Well, he did drop back. Oh, is it Poe that was the problem? Is it Poe who has the problem? I think it is, yes. That right-hand side, that front wing, looks damaged to me. Did Poe clip the wall or did he clip someone else? Either way, Poe looks like he's going to struggle out there now. Meanwhile, lap 14, Geordie currently leading at the moment, as that's Blizzard trying to go down the inside. Hand of Rage comes up from Geordie as Blizzard here tries to make his move stick. He sees the opportunity now, coming into turn 5 here. And has Blizzard got the move done? Yes, he has. Blizzard moves into the lead of the race, but I don't think anything's done there. Geordie then will have DRS, so will Traw, as will DarrenSinclair, as they head now towards turn 6. Blizzard leads the way though. Geordie in 2nd, Traw in 3rd, DarrenSinclair in 4th. Geordie and Traw looks like they'll have to pit again. Let's have a look at their stops. Yes, Geordie and Traw are yet to pit, but Traw here is looking to try and play at the moment, and if he can frustrate DarrenSinclair, I'm sure Blizzard will greatly appreciate that. So well, DarrenSinclair here is going to have to try and find a way through. Geordie then trying to take a wider line, as does DarrenSinclair, to try and get a better exit into turn 13. But as you can see here, DarrenSinclair is losing touch with Blizzard very slightly here, but at the moment it's looking good for Blizzard. Meanwhile, Raikkonen is chasing Mays here. This is for 6th place, as Mays into turn 14, looking to try and defend through 15 and then through turn 16 here. And I wonder now, Raikkonen looks like he has much more grip here. Closing in on Mays with a rate of knots here. I wonder if Mays is going to pit this lap. He did pit quite early for a new set of Ultrasofts. Meanwhile though, DarrenSinclair, well, he got a 3-second time penalty, which probably means, is he going to have to give the position back to Traw? No, he doesn't. So the game decides to give him a 3-second time penalty instead, but he is past Traw there. Now he's got to try and chase down Geordie down this DRS straight, through this slight kink of 6, and now coming down towards turn 7. I know I've called this corner turn 6 before, but it doesn't matter because DarrenSinclair might have run slightly wide going through turn 7, but he has the move done and moves up into second place. Geordie, though, has got to be careful now from Traw right behind him, who looks to try and ramp up the pressure here as we head through turn 9 towards the Singapore sling now. Further back, we have a battle brewing here coming into turn 7. Oh, and that's that's Siege into the wall. He clipped something on the track there and lost the back end. I'm not entirely sure what he clipped there, but Siege into the wall and coming through turn 9 there will not be too happy at all. It's a long lap when you've got no front wing around Singapore, and he'll have to come back to the pits now to change that front wing. Draw though, right on the tail of Geordie heading through turn 17. And coming towards the right left-hander of turn 18. Very easy to lock up going through there when you're trying to attack as hard as you can. Through 20 and 21 now. Can Traw ramp up some more pressure on Geordie here. Through the double left-hander. He'll stay behind him for now though. And look to try and just keep the pressure up. Meanwhile, Mays is past Spike. As Spike now heads into the pits. Well, Spike here, has he already made a stop, I wonder? No, he hasn't. So he's got to lap 16. So Spike now looking to put some super softs on to the end of the race. With a change of front wing. So away he goes then. So now I wonder, Siege now into the pits to replace his front wing. He's going for a set of super soft tyres to try and take him to the end of the race. But where does Spike rejoin then? Does he rejoin in front of Poe? Yes, he does. So Spike then rejoins in 11th place. Draw though, meanwhile, still trying to put some pressure on Geordie. Behind them, Raikkonen trying to put some pressure on Mays here. Lighty has had Siege rejoin right in front of him here. Has given him the benefit of DRS as he looks to try and close in on, or at least try and cut the gap between himself and Poe. And Spike's DRS for maybe a lap or two might help him out there. Traw then. Still trying to put Geordie under some pressure, but Traw has decided he's had enough. And on lap 17, pits in for some new tyres. Now, will these be super softs to take him to the end of the race? Let's see what the Sauber crew are going to do here. As Raikkonen picks up a stop-go penalty. Super softs go on. And away Traw goes. So now, that's going to provoke Geordie to do something here. Now, on those super soft tyres, they must be screaming, surely, to change at some point. But at the moment, well, Traw has rejoined in front of Squeezy here. Raikkonen rejoins behind Z3 as he slightly crosses that white line. Raikkonen then rejoins in 9th place. Poe and Steph having a good battle here for 11th place. As Steph here on the ultra soft tyres looking to try and find a way past Poe. We're coming down the DRS straight now. And will Steph have a good opportunity here to try and get back into the slipstream of Poe. Poe though, as we head into turn 7, still holding on through into turn 8. And then through the left-hander of turn 9, we'll see now. Poe is starting to get away from Steph there as he moves away and up into 11th place. Raikkonen though is looking to try and have a go at Z3, but he runs into the back of him, losing a thread of front wing. And Raikkonen there just maybe misjudging the braking point. I'm not too sure, but trying to chase down Z3. He's lost a bit of front wing there. Well, at long last then, Geordie comes into the pits. Now, is he going to put on a set of soft tyres, or is this going to be an ultra soft stop? and have 2 ultra soft stints at the end of the race. It looks like it's going to be exactly that. Either that, or Geordie's going to try and take those ultra softs to the end of the race. Now that will be something to see. But where will he rejoin? There's Traw. He'll come out of the pit lane then and rejoin in 6th place, it looks like. So his battle with Traw then is well and truly on. So what will happen now? Here's Raikkonen on C3 here. Siege getting his way past Steph, but that was through a pit stop. Raikkonen using all that track and more then, as Spike picks up a 5-second time penalty, 3-second time penalty, doing the same. Z3 here under a lot of pressure from Raikkonen. Raikkonen looking to try and go down the inside into turn 7. No dice though, and they'll keep battling here for 8th place. Raikkonen and Spike both want to find their way through. They both want more points than they already have, but Raikkonen making a mistake coming through turn 9. This opens up an opportunity for Spike to try and go down the inside into the Singapore sling, but he can't quite make the move stick. Raikkonen holds on to P9 then and can now regain his composure coming into turn 13 and try and get a better exit once again. Yellow flags in sector 3 as we see Plaster here in 15th place. Weed Nation on those soft tyres in 14th, Light E 30th. But DarrenSinclair has come into the pits and he's lost his front wing. That was what the yellow flag was for. Well, DarrenSinclair then into the pits, and a huge amount of time is being lost right now. And Blizzard then in the lead. Well, I wonder now what is going to happen here. Mays pits in for a super soft stint. Well, DarrenSinclair then on the ultra softs will rejoin behind Squeezy. He'll exit the pit lane now. And he's got a lot of work to do now then, DarrenSinclair. Rejoins in 6th place, but he is on ultra soft tyres. He can really attack to the end of the race. Z3 then getting a couple of warnings and culminating in a 3-second time penalty for his troubles. So with a little bit of a break then in the action, we've got Blizzard leading the way in the lead. The Gore is in 2nd place. Trot is in 3rd. Geordie 4th. Squeezy is in 5th place. DarrenSinclair rejoined in 6th. Mays is in 7th place. Spike in 8th. Z3 in 9th. Poe is in 10th. Siege 11th place. Lighty in 12th. Weed Nation 13th. Raikkonen 14th. Plaster is in 15th. Steph in 16th. And Alan Kay is running in 17th. Only one retirement this race. That was Lambo when he crashed out early in the Grand Prix. Spike then coming into turn 13, locking those tyres up as he looks to try and chase down Mays for 7th place. DarrenSinclair, meanwhile, is on a huge charge now. He knows he's got a lot of work to do now if he wants to try and get back his way, or make his way through the field once again. Right on the back of Squeezy, though, as we're heading into turn 18 and 19. Can he find that way past, that crucial way past, with 12 laps to go? Heading towards the final 2 corners. DarrenSinclair right on the tail of Squeezy now. He'll have much better traction through 23 as he tries to get around the inside. Now he's gone for the inside line, but he's run wide. And, well, Squeezy here will go back through, and DarrenSinclair will have to try that move all over again. He will have DRS, though, coming out of turn 5. And, obviously, that slipstream as Squeezy taps the wall there. DarrenSinclair in the slipstream with the DRS, moves to the outside. Squeezy goes to the inside, and DarrenSinclair's hit the wall. He's out of the race, battling with Squeezy, and he's hit the wall. It looks like he just lost control of the car there. Well, DarrenSinclair then out of the race. Well then, Spike in a good position here now. This will sort of motivate him just a little bit to try and grab as many points as he can. He'll now be on a charge with 11 laps to go to try and get past Mays even more than he already wanted to. But let's see what he can do through turn 13. Behind Mays, and looking to try and get an opportunity, try and sniff one out if he can, to to get involved, get past him. But it looks like right now Mays is holding the fort right now. He's not willing to let Spike go through without a fight. Battle for 8th place, involving Z3, Poe and Siege, as Geordie sets the fastest lap of the race there on a set of ultra soft tyres. Yellow flags in sector 2 here, as whatever they were, they're gone now. Must have been just a driver just running a little bit wide there. What we see here, back end of Poe stepping out very slightly. Siege here. Oh, as Z3 got the exit there. Oh, you can see he's lost a bit of front wing. That's why he's struggling so much. Poe going down the inside. Siege going to try and do the same then. Round the outside into turn 2. Got the inside line for turn 3. And both Poe and Siege then make their way past Z3. Well, down the DRS straight then into turn 6 now. On the run to turn 7. Will Spike try and move? He thinks about it. But no dice then. Coming into turn 8. And then through turn 9 now, up towards the Singapore sling. As Spike taps the wall there with a rear tyre. Just a warning sign then that he is pushing. And currently in 7th place. Heading around turn 13. And what are the exits like from the both of them? They look pretty good. As Mays here defending hard, and he knows how to defend around this track, Mays. Siege then down the inside of Poe. He's got the inside line but can't quite the move stick into 14, now through 15 and then through 16. Poe opts to take the curb, Siege opting not to through turn 16. It was completely the opposite in 17. Now they're heading under the stadium here, as the battle for 8th place looks to be heating up once again. Poe and Siege here on the same compound of tyre as they look through the double left-hander now. Heading towards the line into the DRS zone. Poe goes defensive now. Siege trying to take the outside line as Poe moves back across to take his racing line. Now that is allowed. You can do that. But you can't put anyone in danger if you do that. Well, here we go then. This is Siege's best chance now to try and get past Poe in the DRS zone. Goes down the inside through turn 6, putting a lot of faith in the other driver. Poe trying to defend the inside line for turn 7. And has Siege got the move done into turn 8? Yes, he has. Moves ahead of Poe then. So Siege then up into 8th place. Good battling from the two of them. A lot of trust has to be put into a driver when you're battling around Singapore, and they both did exceptionally well there. Well, Spike, the longer he stays behind Mays, the more frustrated he's going to get. And he'll want to try and find a way past. But they are both catching Squeezy at the moment. So maybe he won't be so quick to pull the trigger. Yellow flags in sector 2. As was that someone behind? It's Poe. Well, Poe here is in the middle of the track. And, well, that is out of turn 13. Now, did he get caught up with someone there? Whatever it was, he's lost a bit of front wing, and Poe then will be trying to limp his way back to the pits. Meanwhile then, Mays and Spike, perhaps they might be thinking to work together to try and catch Squeezy. But Spike here trying to go down the inside into turn 1. Has he got the move stick? Yes, he has! Fantastic move from Spike then. Up into 6th place he goes. A true Ricciardo style move, but he's got it done. And Spike now up into P6. Mays then losing out just slightly there. But when you get a dive bomb against like that, you can't really defend against it. But he'll be hoping now to work with Spike's slipstream. Maybe try and get a chance to overtake him again. Squeezy is up ahead. Maybe he'll have a role to play. Maybe Mays can try and get that position back. Spike, though, reeling in Squeezy on some soft tyres. And you can already see how much more grip he has than Squeezy. As he'll look to try and make a good exit out of turn 13. He thought about tightening up the inside, but quickly thought against it. But as we head towards turn 14 here, as we see Blizzard then into the pits to serve a penalty. Well, the light's green and Blizzard hasn't gone. Well, he comes out then. The Gort then on some soft tyres. Now, did Blizzard hit the wall or did he just try and pit in? Either way, though, the Gort then is going to take the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. And he is. So Draw moves up into second, Geordie third, and Blizzard rejoins in fourth place. Well then, he's got a couple of laps then on some ultra soft tyres. Can he retake the lead? The Gort then leads the way. Draw is in second, Geordie third, Blizzard in fourth. As Spike, has he found a way past Squeezy? As they look into turn 3 here, round the outside he goes, and Spike has got the move done. Now Mays wants his opportunity to try and get past Squeezy. Down this DRS straight then is probably going to be the best place. Mays in the slipstream, but well, Squeezy will have the same DRS slipstream from Spike here, as Mays just looks to back out of it for now and see what happens. Meanwhile, Mays' teammate, the Gort, is in the lead of the race at the moment. As oh, that's Straw going, and he's lost it coming out of turn 13, lost his entire front wing, and the man who won in Italy may have just blown his chance to win here in Singapore. Well, Blizzard then already up into second place. He's really on a charge right now, and the next man is the Gort. Mays here on Squeezy, coming into turn 14. Is he going to try and move up the inside? Squeezy slightly left the door open there, but Mays just wasn't confident enough to make a move. He might be confident later on though, that's for sure. Definitely looks up for it now, wants to get 6th place coming into turn 18. And not really an overtaking place then. Well, that's the Blizzard who's taken the lead of the race into turn 1. Well, he took back the race lead. The Gort then in second place, Geordie third. Traw comes into the pits then, as he'll put on a set of ultra soft tyres as well, with 7 laps to go. Well, Traw here puts on a set of ultra softs. It ain't over till it's over. So where will Traw rejoin? Away he goes. And it looks like he's going to rejoin in 8th place. There's Light E though, who's going to challenge him into turn 1, that's for sure. As, yeah, Light E is going to rejoin ahead. Or sorry, at least be ahead as Traw rejoins. So Traw in 9th place then. Mays here, looking eagerly at that 5th place now. Coming out of turn 9. Has he got a good run coming into the Singapore Sling? But he hasn't quite got the confidence to just try and dive it up the inside. Turn 13 then, he tries to get a better exit, which he does. As he'll come out, takes that wider line to try and get a better exit coming out of turn 13. Always a good one to try. Draw already trying to make his way up the field then, before Singapore Sling getting up into 8th place. Mays though still trying to look for a way past Blizzard. 1:39.2 as he obliterates that fastest lap that was held before by Geordie. And we'll see now, Mays still on the back of Squeezy. What can he do now coming into the last corner? Has he got more grip? No, he hasn't. So his DRS points are probably the best points for him to overtake now, unless he's thinking about turn 1. He doesn't though, as Squeezy still defending and holding on to 5th place. Mays here is still looking for that way past. Coming around onto the DRS straight out of turn 5. And Mays here on board through turn 6 towards turn 7. And again, Squeezy runs onto the curb there. That means he'll run slightly wide. Heading into turn 8 now. Mays sees his opportunity. Puts it down the inside going into turn 8. And has he got the move done? No, he hasn't. Into turn 9. Squeezy's going to get a compromised line here. Hits the wall, does he? Well, I'm not too sure, but they're going to run side by side into the Singapore Sling now. Into turn 10 they go. Has Mays got the move done? Yes, he has. Moves up into 5th place. He finally saw his opportunity, made it stick, and Mays now up into 5th place. Well, Geordie here is looking for a way past Gort now. Yellow flags in sector 1 as Blizzard sets the fastest lap of the race. On board with him now, 5 laps to go, and that is Poe, who has retired from the session. It hasn't been his day at all, and he's hit the wall again, and he's had enough for today and will retire from this race. Geordie chasing down the Gort here. We've got a yellow flag, so obviously he can't make a move here, but as soon as he sees green up ahead there, that's when he can go for it once again. Squeezy though is still on the back of Mays here, putting up a good fight at the moment as he taps the back of Mays here. This opens up a battle for Siege now, as he's looking to try and take 6th place away from Squeezy. Would he let that happen, I wonder? Both of them will have DRS on Mays here, as look at this now, Siege trying to go down the outside now. It becomes the outside here as we head into turn 7. Round the outside he goes onto that curb. Into turn 8 now, he'll have the inside line as Siege then rounding it through into turn 9. Still has the inside line ahead of Squeezy. Squeezy has to back out, otherwise he'll hit the wall, and Siege then moves up into 6th place. Now we can try and chase down Mays for 5th. Well, the Gort here is heroically holding on to 2nd place right now on those soft tyres. Geordie on the ultra softs with I believe that's 4 laps to go. Well, will be 4 laps to go anyway. Yep, there we go, 4 laps to go. Blizzard leads the way on ultra soft tyres, and he's just pushing on now towards the end of the race then. The Gort in 2nd, Geordie is in 3rd, Spike in 4th place. He's had one heck of a drive so far, and it's not done yet, that's for sure. Anything can happen in this race, and it has happened. Mays is in 5th, Siege in 6th, Squeezy in 7th, Traw is in 8th, Light E in 9th, Weed Nation 10th, Raikkonen 11th, Z3 12th, Plaster 13th, Steph in 14th, and Alan Kay is in 15th. We have a look at Geordie then, still on the back of the Gort here. And I do wonder if Geordie can actually make a move on the Gort here. It's getting to a point where both sets of tyres will have around about the same amount of wear. So it gets tough towards the end of your stint to make a move. I can tell you right now though that it's not going to stop Geordie, that's for sure. The Gort here rounding into turn 13, a little bit of lag there. Not too bad though. If that's the only lag we have during this session, I'll be happy with that. Heading towards turn 14, and it looks like Geordie here is really trying his best, really pushing the car to its limit here, but he just can't catch the Gort here. Siege here and the other Haas looking to try and make some inroads to try and catch Mays. Currently in 6th place, trying to chase down Mays in 5th. We'll have a look at the gaps then. 1.3 right now. There's a sort of real-time gap between the two of them. And we'll have a look as Siege heads through turn 17, what that becomes. Still 1.3 seconds right now. Under the bridge we go, under the stadium. Still the gap is 1.3, now down to 1.2. As we'll see now, has Geordie made a move stick? Yes, he has. Well, forget what I said then. Clearly, Geordie did have the pace. But the Gort here is going to have... No, he's not. He's not going to have DRS. So Geordie then moves up into 2nd place. The Gort falls to 3rd. And, well, it's been heroic from Gort so far. 3 laps to go in this race. It's not over yet. Siege here really catching Mays now towards the end of this race, as Siege wants that 5th place away from Mays. But can he close in enough? Raikkonen as well towards the end of this race wants some points, and Weed Nation is the man who could give him some. But can he find that way past with 2 laps to go? My apologies, 3 laps to go. You try and make it sound dramatic and you just get the number of laps wrong. It's not good. Anyway, 3 laps to go. Can Raikkonen grab a point? Draw here on some ultra soft tyres on Squeezy. Can he find the way past that he needs? Had a chance here of looking at a race win. He hit the wall though. It's not going to stop his charge though, as he looks to try and get a really good exit out of turn 13. And look at how much more traction he has to Squeezy Lemon. Coming up to turn 14, Squeezy's going to stick it up the inside, is he? No, he's not. Traw gets the move done, and Traw then up into 7th place. The court's no slouch though, as he's holding on to that position. He's holding on to the gap between himself and Geordie right now. 2 laps to go. Blizzard leads the way. Siege here, 0.8 of a second behind Mays. Only 2 laps left to make a move if he's going to make one. Raikkonen here wants that point away from Weed Nation, and Weed Nation on his return could have been looking at a point here. Can he hold on for just a couple more laps? So we've got a couple of battles we need to be looking at. The Gort is holding that gap between Geordie right now. Siege is at the moment holding the gap between himself and Mays. He has DRS, so we'll catch him down this straight. Raikkonen on Weed Nation as well is a battle we need to keep our eyes on as well. But Weed Nation doesn't get a great exit coming out of the last corner though, and that's going to invite just even more pressure from Raikkonen as we head into turn 3. Weed Nation on the soft tyre has to do his best to defend as hard as he can. There are only a couple of laps left. Weed Nation's teammate Blizzard though crosses the line to start the final lap of this Singapore Grand Prix. And Blizzard here could make some serious inroads into DarrenSinclair's championship lead. All he needs to do is keep it out of the barriers for 1 more lap. Siege then on Mays. He's only got a lap and a bit to go. Can he find his way past Mays? Raikkonen, meanwhile, is at the Singapore Sling to clips the wall there, coming into turn 11. Through into turn 13. And we are going to see what happens. So Geordie picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Now, depending on whether the Gort has got penalties, that could provide crucial in the end. Siege then still on the back of Mays here, as I'll just check where Blizzard is. He's coming up to the hairpin of turn 13. That's good to know. Siege on Mays, still Raikkonen on Weed Nation, as Alan Kay has retired from the session, and that's a big off there. That is just coming into Anderson Bridge, I think that is. Well, Blizzard here is coming into Sector 3. And, well, he had a bit of a moment there where he had to change his strategy. Whether it was willingly or whether it was because of damage, I don't think we'll ever know. And I think that's Raikkonen who's stolen the point off of Weed Nation as he heads through turns 1, 2 and 3. But Blizzard here rounds the final 2 corners. He's going to take the race win here at Singapore. Geordie then has got to try and hold on from the Gort here. He had to try and pull away, but will the penalties take into account? Geordie then heading towards the start-finish line. Round the final 2 corners as the fireworks light the track green. Heads towards the finishing line, and the Gort jumps in for position. The Gort finishes in 2nd, Geordie in 3rd. Spike then in 4th place, as he's battling Steph, who's a back marker. Never mind that though, Spike and Steph still battling it out, but Spike then finishes in 4th place. Mays here will cross the line in 5th place, with Siege jumping him, and as does Traw. So Siege in 5th, Traw 6th, Maze in 7th place. Squeezy then comes across the line to claim more points for him. He finishes in 8th place. Light E then heading around the final few corners now. Light E then will come across the line to take P9. Good points for Ferrari then. And Raikkonen stealing that point off of Weed Nation as he rounds now the final 2 corners. Raikkonen then will claim the last point out on track. But he gets jumped by Weed Nation. So Weed Nation takes back his point there. Well, it has been a thrilling race. Your race winner today here at Singapore is Blizzard. Well, they deserve that champagne. They deserve those podium celebrations. Blizzard then takes the race win here at Singapore. So then, Blizzard takes the race win. The Gore is in 2nd, Geordie in 3rd, Spike in 4th, Siege in 5th, Traw takes 6th, Maze is in 7th, Squeezy takes 8th, Lighty 9th, Weed Nation 10th, Raikkonen 11th, Z3 12th, Plaster 13th, Steph 14th, and we've got a whole host of real drivers there at the back of the field. Those are your official, unofficial results then. Blizzard takes the race win here at Singapore. The next race then, we head to Malaysia for round 15 of TTL. And you'll be able to see all the driver standings. I won't. So we'll see how it all turns out and how it all plans out at Malaysia at the next Grand Prix. Meanwhile, though, that has been Singapore. I do thank you for joining me on this. I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Until Malaysia, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.